Hello everybody, I'm Allie and this is Banjo. He's going to be our new horse in training and he's going to be doing riding lessons for us. And basically we're going to do a warm-up routine and we're also going to do some groundwork, and later on we're going to follow in the saddle. But right now we're just going to focus on some groundwork to get him ridden. Remember, he hasn't been ridden in a while. And we're going to go over some groundwork exercises do the first time you ever ride a horse to make sure that they understand the cues and you understand the cues as well. So I am using a side pull bridle, and I'm also using a cut and saddle, and it does have a back cinch. So I have the stirrups set where I would need them, so he'll understand when I ride him that this is where I want the cues. So here we go. In front of the girth, button number 1 right there, that's going to move the forehand. Number 2, that's going to move the rib cage. And number 3, that's going to move the hindquarters. So 1, 2, 3. And the open door is going to be the opposite side, so we cue. If we want to go right, we cue on the left to get that reaction. So here's your first exercise. We're going to stand back here, and we got to make sure that the horse understands to back. So we're going to stand in front of the saddle. I'm going to get my hands up and beside so they're the same as it would be if I'm pulling. I want to even up my hands, make sure I have contact, and I'm going to ask him to back. Back. And it's pull and release, and as soon as I get it back, I stop. So back, back. Very good. So he is listening. I would like to continue the back, back, back. Come on, back. Until I get his head to drop, but that's the start of it. Now, I used both sides, so he's getting used to feeling on this side pull both sides. The next exercise, I'm going to stand back here in my pocket. I'm going to have my hand up by my saddle horn, and I'm going to reach up, okay, and ask him to flex until he stops. And, ooh, very nice. I want to make sure he gives his head and stops so he understands to flex. And if he moves, I move. I'm going to hold until he quits pulling and he releases pressure. And there we go. And I kind of stopped a little bit early on that one because I wanted you to see it a little bit better. Again, if he moves, I move. Whoa. Make sure he understands whoa. He put his head down. That was one of those signs of submission. Reach up here, I'm grabbing my saddle horn, so if he moves, I'm right here in the pocket, so I don't get stepped on. So I'm going to ask him to give his head and release. Now that he's got the concept of that, he'll give me a much better bend. Come on. Much better bend, Good. And release. So he's learning to work off that pressure. Come on. So what we do on one side, we do on the other. Whoa. Again. Back. Back. Back a step. Back. Good. So we're always reviewing that back. Come back here to his pocket. Engage those reins. On the side pull, reach up. And I'm going to pull my hand up here. And that was a much better give. Now, he moved a little bit. So I'm going to go right back to the exercise. And I'm going to say, whoa. Whoa. There. And once he gives, I give. So he understands what I was asking him. So again, flex. There we go. And we had an instant release of pressure. He figured that out. And so that time, that was just so easy. I barely put any pressure. So he's got the idea now. So just reach up. And he's just, okay. He's going to give to that pressure, and I just have to put a very light amount of pressure now. Very good. So we've moved him back, we've moved his head, we've moved his neck. Next, we're going to try something else. We're going to move his forequarters. Now, most horses don't move their forequarters very well, but remember, button number 1 is going to be in front of the girth. So I'm going to have my stirrup right here. I'm going to have my right hand where I can actually pull his head to the opposite direction because I'm using that saddle horn. There we go. So I'm pulling his head that way. So I'm using that is my direct rein. And I want him to take a side step. Come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go, come on. Come on, buddy. Come on. Come on. There, a little bit. He hasn't had to do a whole lot before. So ready? Come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. And release. So he's getting the idea. Slowly, but surely. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, buddy. There you go. There you go. Come on. One more step. One more step. One more step. One more step. Come on. Come on. There we go. So we know he's going to have to work on his forehand. So what we do on one side, we do on the other. Again, direct rein to the right. Button number 1. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Come on. And I want him to react to cueing button number 1. Come on. There we go. That's a little bit better. Now ready? I want that crossover. Cross. Good. As soon as he made that crossover, I released. Button number 1. Button number 1. Button number 1. Come on. Button number 1. Come on. Button number 1. Come on. There we go. We're getting the start. We're getting the start. Indirect rein. Come on. One more step. And that was close. That was close enough. So we know that this is going to be something that's going to take him a lot longer to do. So we'll work a lot more on that. So we've moved the head, the neck, the forequarters. The rib cage is going to be button number 2. That's going to go to forward. We're not really going to do that, but we are going to work on moving the hindquarters if he doesn't fall asleep first. So I'm going to tip his nose slightly to the inside where I can see his eye and his nose, and hopefully he won't fall asleep. And I'm going to aim for that button number 3. And I'm going to gradually increase pressure until I get a reaction. Come on, buddy. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. He is really desensitized. Come on. Come on. Come on. Let's move a little bit. There you go. Good. Good. Cross. There we go. I want to cross with that. There we go. And release. I want him to isolate those hindquarters. So he hasn't been made to do a whole lot of this stuff. And this is what our lessons are going to be focusing on. So he has to learn this stuff first. So again, tip his nose. Come on, baby. Let's get going first. Walk a little bit. All right. And cross. Come on. Come on. Come on.
No.
Cross. Good. Cross. Good. Cross. Good. Come on. One more cross. Come on. Good. And release. So there you go. That's our basic groundwork exercise. Also check out our lunging. Thank you so much for joining us today with Banjo. And if you want to see more about him, check out our playlist. And remember, if you haven't already, please subscribe. We're going to put out new content every week. Yes, I love you too.